Hello, Pickpocket episode 4, Mozart Ave Verum Corpus. You might want to grab a score off your music shelf or download a PDF from the web to follow along, but you don't have to. If you just want to watch and join in with a few of the things we're doing, that's fine too. Improvise along just like we did in episode 2 with Zadok the Priest. So, vocal warm-up. The very quick vocal warm-up we do on these videos, it's a low and a high, and you're all sorted. Okay, so with this piece, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for us to think about the sound we make and the purity of the sound, particularly the purity of the vowels, the 5 vowels. Now, in English, we've got A, E, I, O, U. In Italian, it's A, E, I, O, U. And we're just talking about absolute standard classical singing, which is based on Italian vowel sounds, and which will work very well in this particular piece, I think. So, we'll do the first 5 notes of our scale, singing the 5 Italian vowels. A, E, O, U, go. And the same 5 vowels going down those 5 notes. Go. The idea with classical singing is that it's just those 5 vowels that you use. As a demonstration of what we're trying to avoid is all the other ways that you can make those sounds. So if you can maybe think about different kind of colours, inflections, accents that you might put on I, A, E, O, U. You can do all this kind of crazy sound. Just say the 5 vowels, actually sing the 5 vowels, but sing as many different sorts of vowels as you can possibly think of on the way up, and I, E, O, U. So it sounds like a whole smorgasbord, like a pirate who has visited many ports and picked up many different ways of doing vowels, and as well as rashes and things. Here we go. On the way down, I, E, O, U. And from that massive selection, we're just going to select the finest, the purest, the sort of Marks and Spencer's 5 vowels, and use those in Mozart. So can we have the first phrase? Please sing. Please don't sing any consonants. Just sing the vowels. So it's not Ave Verum, it's A, E, U. And it just really concentrate on our ear onto what vowels we're actually singing. Try to make sure that you're just selecting from your menu of 5. A, E, I, O, U. Are you ready? Go. Lovely. I knew you sang that really well. One thing we just need to be careful of is the last E on its own, like where we just got to, that we don't put an extra little Y on there. So it's Ave, not Ave. So nothing curls around there. Ave. Like the word vet almost, but without the T. Ve. Because it doesn't have the consonant, sometimes it has a little change at the end of that sound. The other thing we might find is that we sing verum, and I probably said that, didn't I, at the beginning of this video, if I said Ave Verum, because we tend in English to use this nondescript vowel, the schwa, the one that we use in the word the and and at the end of the word sofa. So the sofa, a sofa, and is something we use speaking all the time without even thinking about it. Trouble is, when you're singing, and when you're singing a long note, you can't really sing for a very long time. Because it's not really one thing or another. So you have to really make sure you're singing verum. It's the oo sound there, rather than verum. And there's lots of rhymes with that in this text. isn't there? Perforatum, perforatum. So to practice that, we're going to cut to the middle of the piece. We might be on different editions, but you know, there's the first section, and then there's a brief instrumental interlude, and then we start again with cuius latus, the cuius latus, and we're going to take the consonants out, and we're going to realise that most of what we're singing is just oo. So it's oo, oo, not oo, Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. There it is again. A lot of that is just singing ooh, isn't it? Now, remember we were trying out all those different crazy vowels? Just remind yourselves of those. There's ooh, 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 ooh. Just do some of these crazy sounds. Join me, otherwise I feel like it's more weird than usual. Ooh, 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 ooh. Giving it different pitches, but actually there's a million different ways of doing ooh. And depending on what you're singing, you would use different ones, yeah? If you're singing some Forêt Cantique de Jean Racine, the French one, you would use the French U sound more, yeah? If you're doing close harmony, like on that lovely song, we had that song at our wedding, close to you, close to you. You had a lovely round, close harmony, soft focus, ooh. So what do we use in classical? It's got to be very pure, but it's got to be sort of big enough and weighty enough, I think, to balance out with the other vowels. The problem with what I'm going to call the close harmony ooh on close to you ooh, ooh. Actually, even now I'm making like 5 different variations of that sound. If I'm trying to go for a really round one, that's a lovely pure sound, but it's very quiet. So you actually need to open it up and give it a bit more space behind. This becomes particularly apparent in a lot of choral music when we sing Alleluia. And we go, and it's always the big bit, isn't it? Alleluia. And quite often the lu is just a fifth of the volume of everything else, because it's very easy to close down on that. So you've just got to think very carefully about the sound you're making there. It's got to be a beautiful rounded ooh sound, but it has to be big enough to compete with the ah and the eh and its neighbours around. So a couple of sort of technique things here. I'm not a singing teacher, but I've really enjoyed it when singing teachers have come in to work with choirs that I've been leading or accompanying, because you pick up lots of good tips from them. And a few tips I've picked up actually is when you're breathing in, breathe in on the shape of the vowel. So if you're about to sing ah, then breathe in ah. If you're about to sing oo on cuius, then breathe in on the, because then you don't have to change anything when the sound starts. Another good thing to remember is the vowel or the word, but actually in this context we're talking about the vowel really. It's inside before you sing it, and it's what you sing. It's not like a sound is coming out and at this point, just before it comes out of your mouth, you decide what word it's going to be. So it's not like a stem cell. It's actually already ah and eh and e, because then it comes out sort of fully formed. You need to open up space at the back of your throat, so that exercise of like drinking a nice cup of water. So when you ask children to sing out, you know, they open their mouth like that, but it's not just opening up the front of the mouth, it's opening up the space behind. And here's another technique. Sing like a ventriloquist. Not the ventriloquist that grits their teeth and goes, what the hell like that? But try to make the words happen inside. Let's do that first thing we did. 5 vowels and so try to do it without changing your mouth shape too much. because that's going to make you change the shape inside, which is going to be much more effective. Same again, and down the scale. For more detailed, expert explanation of this, please consult a proper singing teacher. But let's put that into practice for this piece, so that every vowel is as pure and as warm and as generous and as singing from inside as you possibly can. Because I guess most of us watching are Anglophones, just be careful when you find words like sanguine in this piece, because we know the word sanguine, we automatically go for an a rather than a. Same thing on examine. A is the first Italian vowel, so it's not like the word exam, as in how are your exams going? I don't know, they've all been cancelled this summer. So we're going to look after the oo, keep it very pure but quite big. We're going to go not a. We're going to sing a nice open R on sanguine, examine, and it'll sound great. So if you really, really sing the absolute best quality vowels that you can, as a choir director once said, you've just got to sound really expensive, and it'll be brilliant. Almost all of this has been going on about vowels, but let's not forget the consonants. Now, some consonants are unvoiced. You can't sing them like a k and a t and a s. But some you can sing, like a and a v. And in fact, we started the video by going v, and the first consonant you find in this piece is a v, isn't it? Verum. So you need to sing that. That has a pitch, doesn't it? Let's prove it by going v. Sing v on a scale, really smooth. So back to the beginning of the Mozart, if we can all, whatever voice part we are, think about the tune, the soprano part. I'll put it down into a nice comfortable lower key. We do a super slowed down version of that. Excuse me. We sing R on the first note, we sing E on the second note, and we sing E, not A. Where do we sing the V? Is the V on the first note? Is it, slow motion, Ave? Is it on the second note? Ave? Is it possibly on both notes? Ave? Slight. Bit dangerous, that one, I think, because you might slide, but it is possible, and there isn't a right or wrong answer. It just gives you a different effect. But you just need to remember the V is something you actually sing. It's not just this random sound that happens in between singing a really nice first note and a really nice second note. The V is part of the experience. Personally, I prefer the V on the first note. It opens up, and it's such a nice tune anyway. The way that high note comes out, everything else is moving by step, apart from that one note in the tune. So, we're going to sing Ave verum, Ave verum corpus, and we're just going to put all that into practice so that every single vowel is really pure right to the end. It's not going to curl around. We're going to really enjoy singing the v and the when we get the opportunity. We're going to keep all the oo sounds open and very well balanced. And you sing a fantastic first note, and then you make the next note even better, and the next note even better than that. Think how great it's going to be when we all join together and everyone is singing like a very expensive singer. Then we really will have a very expensive choir sound, really, really high quality. And so not this thing of constantly singing something better applies throughout the piece. And you set yourself a high bar by coming in really well. But then it's not just through a piece. Through a concert or through a rehearsal or through a service, just think, everything, I'm going to sing it even better next time. And without getting all too mystical about it, you just do it throughout your life. everything. You do, quite often we're doing the same pieces of music again. Do the same thing again, but better, as much as we can. All right, here we go. Let's sing Mozart, Ave Verum Corpus. Thank you for your singing. Episode 5 will be majors and minors. Thank you to Arthur, my film crew today, and I will leave you. Before I leave you, I've got a letter from Mrs. Trellis. She writes, "Dear Mr. Chilcott, I have really enjoyed listening to all the tracks on your wonderful new CD, but I can't hear any. Yours sincerely, Mrs. Trellis." Doesn't make sense. Oh, there's a fold in the paper. Missed out something. "Dear Mr. Chilcott, I have really enjoyed listening to all the tracks on your wonderful new CD, recorded by Stephen Layton and the professional choir Polyphony, but I can't hear any. Yours sincerely, Mrs. Trellis." Last time I left you with a question, how many bases does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is, well, I don't know where we're going from. We know that it takes only one soprano to change a light bulb, but how does she do it?